Hey guys, it's Lewis here from Physique Level Up, back with another video. And in this video today, I'm gonna explain why we need fats and carbohydrates in our diet to lose body fat and sustain weight loss. So using this method is what we've used on hundreds of our clients inside of Physique Level Up. We make sure that we are eating fats, carbohydrates, and our protein aligned within our calorie needs to help you, of course, lose body fat, because we have to think of a long-term solution. If we do start removing mass amounts of food groups, it's going to be very difficult long-term, because if we start adding these back into our diet, we can start overeating in these periods because we've actually restricted food groups, and it's just going to be a lot harder long term, as there's no point going for a quick fix. We want to use the fats, the carbs, the proteins, the right sources of just eating normal food, but applying with the results that you are after. I'm going to be running through the fats and carbohydrates and the reasons why we need these in our diet to actually lose body fat. And protein, we're not going to run through today. We're going to leave that for another video. But why we need fats and carbohydrates, very high fat diet, a very high carbohydrate diet, to make it long-term sustainability for yourself to actually lose body fat. Okay, so starting off with your fats to begin, especially as a male, okay, in terms of alignments here, increasing testosterone, which is very, very important for losing body fat and gaining muscle. If a man has low testosterone, we're not going to be very, very responsive to gain muscle in the gym, which is going to be optimal for losing body fat. And having a high fat diet will equal in increase in testosterone levels, okay? Implying avocados, dark chocolate, your fatty fishes, okay? Very, very important for losing body fat. Secondly, suppressing appetite, which is absolutely massive. Controlling hunger variables, of course. If we do go very low fat, you will be a lot more hungry, so it will be a lot more difficult to diet down. Also, in terms of fats, it will help give you energy and absorb the nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin D. Okay, these are essentially fat soluble, so we need fats in our diet to absorb these nutrients. So it's very, very important that we are keeping our fats high. Otherwise, you're not going to be absorbing the nutrients within your body, and it's going to be very hard, as we will be getting deficiencies there. So it will help with losing body fat. If you're not absorbing your protein and your carbohydrates, if your fats are low, you're going to be deficient in some areas, and it's going to be very difficult to start losing body fat. Okay, and this is the reason why we like to use high fat diets inside of Physique Level Up to apply with our clients, as well as using high carbohydrates as well, as we're always thinking of long-term sustainability. Secondly, we're going to be running through carbohydrates and the importance of carbs and why we actually need those. Firstly, starting off with training performance. Carbohydrates will essentially give you that fuller look and will help you apply more energy into your training. Okay, in terms of carbs, will turn into glucose and essentially will help with your training performance, which is super, super important, okay, when it comes to training, because if we go super low carbohydrate, you're going to be very flat, you're going to be very run down, you're going to actually get some brain fog. We actually need 100 grams of carbohydrates minimum per day for our brain to actually start functioning properly and to start working across alignments there. So if your carbs are just super, super low, and you go on crazy low carb diets, it's going to be very difficult for you to start losing body fat and actually concentrating within your day-to-day work life, and you're just going to be very miserable. So carbohydrates are very important there. Of course, helping repair and grow new muscle tissue, very, very important, as carbs react very well with protein alignments. So very, very important there, supporting your training when we are resistance training. Also will help restore muscle glycogen. So when we train, okay, we will break down our muscle fibers, and to restore muscle glycogen in full, carbohydrates will help with this. So it's very, very important that we are keeping our carbohydrates as high as possible, okay, when we are dieting, but still controlling your calorie intake. Okay, so we want to keep carbs as high as possible, but keeping you in a negative energy balance, in a calorie deficit, to make sure that we are still losing body fat. Okay, so very, very important there, guys. Also with your brain function, in terms of the carbohydrates, like I've just explained earlier, we need 100 grams of carbohydrates minimum for our brain to actually start functioning properly. So cutting out all carbohydrates and going crazy keto. This is why we hear a lot of stories about keto alignments in terms of people getting very miserable, and it's very difficult to essentially stick to. So Very, very important, guys, that we use high fats and high carbohydrates in our diet to lose body fat. Lastly, now just going through the importance of calories and how they are the king of fat loss, and the laws of thermodynamics is essentially calories in, calories out. So wherever your fats and carbs are, okay, within your diet, if your calories are controlled, you will lose body fat. Okay, these are the laws. Okay, this is why we like to use high fat and high carbohydrate. I know many people out there are very stressed about where to apply your fats and where to apply your carbs. You want to control your calories, okay, in full, and then keep your fats and carbs as high as possible, reaching your calorie targets. Because your calories will come from your fats and your calories will come from your carbs. You get 9 calories in 1 gram of fat and you get 4 calories in 1 gram of carbohydrates. So you will get your energy from your fats and carbs, and this will apply into your calorie limit. But to apply fat loss, you need to be controlling your calorie intake, as this is absolute your energy that is going in. Okay, and if we have too much fats and carbs, too much energy, you're going to overspill, okay, in terms of your body alignment, and this is going to actually put you into fat gain mode, okay, if you're eating too much, okay, as we're inputting too much energy and we're just going to store excess body fat, okay, so we want to keep the fats and carbs as high as possible within your calorie range, okay, and this will make fat loss getting very, very easy, as long as then you're controlling your calorie intake. Okay, you must be in an energy deficit as well to lose body fat. Very, very important in terms of that. That is the laws in full. If you are eating more calories than your body burns, regardless of essentially low fat diet or a low carbohydrate diet, if you're on super low fats and high carbs, if your calories are over, okay, in terms of your maintenance level, you will still gain body fat. Okay, so we must control your calories. These are very, very king. Calories will dictate body composition. Okay, in terms of how our physique changes, I'm going to add some before and afters of myself here in terms of having higher calories and then lower calories, slicing off body fat, and just the actual illusion of reducing your calories, starting to lose body fat to reveal the muscle tissue, and then adding calories and just gaining excess adipose tissue that is not really needed. So I'm just going to show you some before and afters of how calories will affect your body composition, and may play a massive role in terms of how you look visually if you want to go for, of course, that more lean warrior physique, really applying leanness, or you're looking to gain adipose tissue. So calories are a massive, massive factor. Also, very important for energy production. Okay, when we eat food, calories, okay, it will support energy alignment. So if your calories are just super, super low, you're going to be very depleted and you're going to be very miserable. So you want to make sure that you're eating enough food, but you're just lower than your maintenance level, okay, to apply with yourself, actually tapping into your fat stores for energy. So calories, guys, are very, very important, of course, as well as your fats and carbs. So overall, high fat and high carbs should be in your diet if you are looking for long-term success, okay, upon your body transformation, and you are looking for sustainable weight loss. Do not go low fat, do not go low carb. You're going to be very miserable overall. Stick with the high fats, stick with the high carbs, control your calories, and you're going to win from there.